What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Shar. Come here with me. Come here with me. Yes, honey, you get the picture. Listen, today we're going to talk about Mr. Marty Marr and Miss Melody separately, of course, because they aren't together anymore. And I like to put the icing on top of the cake like that. They aren't together anymore, but, you know, no matter what, they still some part are are a part of one another. One, because they have children. Two, because they was an idol at some point. Whether we want to separate them or not, whether they want to separate themselves, they're always going to be mentioned sometime when Martell and Melody were together. But check this out. I got wind of a video where they were talking about how they got it from the mud, how they got it from the muscle, how they worked together, how they trust God, how they stepped out, took a leap of faith. At some point, they was even pulling the cars up to, certain property, and they were turning the lights on because they had a deadline to meet this by. And then, and sometimes they were like, the water was freezing as they got it from Home Depot. And I'm thinking about all the muscle and all the energy and the time that it takes to keep one another motivated. We're talking about leaving your full-time position, your full-time jobs that's already guaranteed to a job that may or may not work, right? But to step out on faith, just to have each other, to support one another, and just be like, you know what, babe, we got this. We got this in our back pocket. High five, pow, we got that. That takes something special from God himself, right? And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I know I'm a big cry baby anyway, but I was almost in tears when I thought how Martell really willingly fumbled the bag. When you are married, and, not only that, when you have somebody as good as Mel has been to him, paying for him to go back to school and, just lending him this and lending him that and supporting him through this, supporting him through that, never making him look like the eye candy. All of those things, how could you fumble it? And I'm not in tears doing better now. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm in tears that sometimes we are so pressed on what it could be, how much better it could be, that we miss the gift itself that sits in front of us each and every day. And that's why I was in tears. He willingly fumbled the ball for some poom-poom, right? And I know I laugh at it all the time, but that is what a lot of people do on a regular basis for some poom-poom, some DD, whatever that looks like. We willingly give it up to get our eye candy at the time. And you have to really ask yourself. I know I'm sick looking back at it, and I have no connection to these people. I can only imagine how sick Marty Marr is on a regular basis. But you guys are going to hear it for yourself. Like, how do you fumble a ball that was 100% for you, Marty Marr? That's a question you got to really answer yourself and sit with yourself. How do you fumble a ball so big, so bright, so wonderful, so amazing? How do you do that? I just need to know, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. This is a little bit touchy for me, but I'll let you guys listen to it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Turn notification on, hit the like button, and subscribe. Bye.
You got a personal story, so tell us about how that developed.
Well, awesome. Well, Martell and I, we are actually both ex-educators. I was a middle school English teacher, and Martell was a middle school special ed teacher. And while we were teaching, we realized quickly that for the level of living that we wanted to have, and for the ways we wanted to be able to freely give back to the community without having to think twice, we realized that the teacher salaries wasn't going to allow us to be able to do that. So while we were teaching, we actually started a lawn care business. And before we knew it, we had about 50 residential clients, and then we started gaining commercial clients. So in 2010, Martell actually resigned from his teaching position, and I followed shortly after in 2011 in April. And we also learned about this new industry called property preservation. So we started performing lawn care services and cleaning foreclosed properties in North Alabama. Eventually we moved down to Birmingham, then Mobile, and now we cover 7 different states.
Wow.
But the amazing thing is that it was a leap of faith. We didn't have financial backing from family or from friends for us to give us, I guess, that comfortability.
Exactly.
We had to take that risk, hoping that we would land on our feet.
And I imagine there was a knowledge gap in there too, because, I mean, how do you
Yes.
go from being educators to being business owners and really make that thing work?
Yes.
Well, the thing is, both of us have like an entrepreneurial background, and in terms of, just say with me, I've been cutting grass since I was a little boy. I'm in the neighborhood raking leaves and things of that nature. So, it's always been in me. I guess, the older you get, the more you aspire to make or whatnot, so that was one of our things there.
But definitely a lot of research, and now we're home builders. So it's kind of amazing how each each task we've taken has built us and helped us gain another step into what we have become today. Property preservation, we had never even heard of it. So while we were teaching, we were still spending countless hours and nights researching, Googling, and trying to figure out, hey, what is this industry? And actually, one of Martell's fraternity brothers, his mom, who's in Houston, Texas, he was like, you guys cut lawns. You need to talk to my mom who does this for HUD.
Right.
So we reached out to her that night, called her. She'd never heard of us before, never, but she gave us some of the basics. And from those basics, we were interested enough and curious enough to go the next step and start doing the research. And we were like, you know what? This can be something great.
Yeah.
So we embarked upon that journey and took it head on.
So people look at you and they see you as having some measure of success. Now, of course, there's many more years of success ahead of you. We certainly hope and pray. But how do you push through the challenges? Because I know this hasn't been easy. You know, everything didn't line up the way it needed to automatically, and obviously the investment of the work and the effort was very consistent, very time consuming.
Yes, very much so.
How did you push through that? And what would you have to say to people that might be listening today? Because, you know, you're like me. People always say, I want to start a business, but do you really have what it takes to start that business? How did you all push through that?
Go ahead.
You're fine.
I would say starting out is you have to have that commitment to not fail. And for Martell and I feel like that is what really pushed us in the times when we felt like, we're out here cleaning these foreclosed properties in this winter, and the water, there's no electricity, there's no water on in the properties, and as we're pouring in gallons of water that we bought from Lowe's, it's freezing and turning into ice. So we would run to the car, warm up a little bit, and go back in there and get that job done for our client, you know? But for us, it was just that commitment to our company and our brand and our desire to make sure that we didn't fail, that we pushed through. Failure wasn't an option for us. It was by no means easy. I can even recall times us out, starting to perform a lawn service on one of the foreclosures, and it may start raining or it may start getting dark. Well, we had a time frame to meet for our client. They didn't care about it raining or getting dark. We've got to get this job done. So if that meant pulling the vehicle up and turning the lights on and moving the truck as we cut, that's what we did.
And that's what we did.
And that's what we
Literally,
did.
yeah.
Wow.
So I think for us, our story and the willpower there and determination, the determination to make it, that is key to success. You have to be determined.
Well, the great